Hey, Edson, it's Mayor Kevin Zahara with a Town Council update for August the 16th. We had a very heavy council agenda this week, talking about some very important issues in our community. The first being homelessness. We had two delegations. The first being Reflections, talking about the Shelter Pod program, which is our emergency shelter program. It's a pilot project that was approved by council a while ago. And what Reflections was looking for is some funding from the town of Edson to pay for security down at the shelter pods. Up till now, a grant has been covering a lot of those costs, and Reflections has been covering those costs with their own funds. However, it's very expensive, $5,000 to $10,000 a month, and they were asking council to provide funding for that for the remainder of this year as well as for 2023. Security, obviously, really important at the recycling depot, ensuring people feel safe. Council will take that under consideration. That is a lot of money that would be coming out of our budget, and we'll have to make a determination if that is something that we want to do. Maybe there's alternative options, such as hiring another peace officer that would provide us with a higher level service in our community. So we took their presentation for information, and council will look at that further as we discuss our budgets. We also had a presentation from the Rural Development Network, and they're an organization we've been working closely with over the last number of months to do an estimation survey on homelessness in our community and the services that we provide in our community. This was done in partnership with the town of Edson, Reflections, the Friendship Center, various other community partners, including the Homelessness Task Force. And it provides us with a lot of data that we can use to lobby other levels of government for support. Some really important information to share with you. There's a lot of data in there. It's available on the Town of Edson website, but it found out that 308 individuals are in housing unstable situations. This means that they are in a situation where they feel like they may lose their home they're living in. Maybe they're renting a place. Maybe they're in a situation where they're moving around between couches, for example. Maybe they're unsheltered. I found out that 31 people are unsheltered currently in our community at the time the survey was done. Of course, this is very fluid. Things happen each and every day where people may go from a sheltered situation to an unsheltered, or maybe they're unsheltered and they do find a place to stay more permanently. It also found out that 74% of housing unstable in our community are female, which is surprising because often on the streets we see a lot of male homelessness, but this is individuals that might be living at home, have their own home, but maybe struggling to pay their rent. 21% of respondents lacked at least one of 7 basic housing amenities, such as electricity, plumbing, running water. And non-Indigenous respondents are 5 times more likely in Edson to be housing stable than Indigenous people, which is really sad to see. So what we're going to do is take this information, review it. They came up with some recommendations for our community, which you can see here on the screen. This is going to be reviewed by the Homelessness Task Force and other community agencies and the town of Edson to develop a plan moving forward. One of those things, of course, is increasing awareness and understanding of homelessness in our community. And some of these things we require provincial and federal government support. We as a municipality do not have the funds or the expertise in some of these areas. But it's important that we were discussing it and trying to develop a plan moving forward, especially around transitional and affordable housing, which is a key part of our strategic plan, as well as dealing with such as different support services such as mental health and addiction. So you'll see us talking more about this in the months ahead, and as we try to tackle this very complex and challenging issue that Edson's facing. But this is not just an Edson issue. We're seeing it all across the province and all across the country. We also reviewed our parks department provided us with an update regarding snow clearing on trails and parks, and to get some direction from council and feedback on what kind of level of service we want to provide. We don't have a policy in place currently. We have 4 operators that work extremely hard in the wintertime to keep these areas clear. They have an internal goal of about 72 hours to have it done. They usually have it done with 48. But as we've seen last year, there's been some challenges when we have multiple snowfalls. So council did say that we want to keep a high level of service, developing a policy. One of the issues is currently, and what we've been doing for years, is clearing sidewalks along the highway corridor, which are actually private property. We do many of those, but not all of them. So some discussion was around that. Council felt through our discussions last night that we want to continue to provide that service to all properties that have sidewalks along the highway corridor, because It is a challenging area with snowplows that push snow back on those sidewalks, and it would be very hard for businesses to keep those areas clean. We've heard that feedback in the past, and we want to ensure that our highway corridor is accessible from one end of town to the next. So what administration is going to do, they're going to review that and bring forward a policy which council will debate sometime here in the future. But we do feel that it is important to keep our trails clear in the wintertime. Obviously, during heavy snowfall, some priorities might have to change. We also talked about the outdoor rinks and some of the challenges getting those flooded and maintained in the wintertime. So look forward to hearing more about that when council gets the policy back from administration. That is our council update for this week. We will have another meeting here in September, and I'll further update you on the issues we discuss then. Have a great week.